Hey everyone, it's RHIB 1940 here. Today we're taking a look at a creation that I did not make. There's a person called Soup. They made this for Stormworks. I wanted to show it off because it's designed to actually work on all my ships. So I've got a landing system that I like to use, and down here it's pretty simple. It's just two small connectors in line with each other, spaced out I think 9 blocks apart or 7 in between them. At the center of that there's a laser beacon. We'll get to see that today, because what we're going to do, just to showcase this a little bit, is we'll go fly it out to a ship that I'm developing right now called the LSD-46, and that has the landing stuff all incorporated already onto it. And we, because of this helicopter, actually, I spent the night before putting a new refueling system for helicopter support. So we'll get to see that as well. So let's get started. Alright, I've already got the doors open. Now, Soup's made it so that the helicopter comes with 6 missiles, so 3 on each side, but I just removed them because this will just be like a little ferry flight. We don't need the missiles, but it comes with the aircraft. So this is SH-29. It's kind of a play on the KA-29, because they wanted to just create a helicopter that can do a bunch of passenger transport, and the US Navy doesn't really have a helicopter like this. Yeah, I'm trying to think, and I don't think that I know of there we go. I don't know if there's ever been a US helicopter with a helicopter or a rotor system layout like this. Yeah, I just don't know. There's just some funky designs from when they first started to put helicopters on ships long ago, and I'm sure maybe there's one in there that I'm missing. I know they had a few that looked like a flying banana. Alright. Oh boy. There we go. Take it easy. Okay, I gotta get inside the cockpit so I can fly the damn thing. There we go. Alright, now we're safe. Some of the things I'd like to do. So the helicopter is designed to fly with sticky keys, so you can use your keyboard. I don't do that. I fly with the HOTAS in Stormworks because I'm just so used to. Oh crap! I'm just so used to flying aircraft in like DCS or flight sim, so I've always got my HOTAS, and I just can't do it. I've tried to do it with keys, and I cannot. With games like Grand Theft Auto, if it's on a console, I can use the joypad or something like that, but I can't just use keyboard and mouse controls. It just doesn't work. But anyways, Soup's made it so that if you are like me and you want to use a HOTAS, there is a controller, a microcontroller that's hidden in there. You'll have to go when you're on the workbench, and you can just click on it, and it says direct control collective on or off. So if you just switch that on, then you'll be able to fly like I do with the HOTAS and use your collective on your throttle, your physical throttle that you're manipulating in the real life. Now there's a recovery mode. You can turn that on or off. I don't really use it. Essentially, if you roll past, I think 45 degrees, it's gonna put you back upright. So if you're bad at flying helicopters, it'll assist you. The hover mode you can turn on and off. It's also part of that recovery mode. When that's on, it just makes it a lot nicer to hover. And wow, so I put the weather in to kind of make it a little bit sporty, but as you can see here, it's very sporty. All right, let's go back in the cockpit really quick and turn on some of our lights. So we got our instrument lights, our nav lights, landing lights. Well, we don't need that on. Rotating beacon looks pretty cool. Cabin lights red. Cabin heating. Keep it warm in here. Oh boy. Alright, so I set off LSD-46 from the port facility that's kind of in the corner right here. And LSD-46 should be somewhere on our right side. There we go. So we'll have to search her out, so we can just jump to the map, I guess, and cheat. This helicopter is really neat because of because Soup has integrated it to work with my ships. I also put a laser beacon on my landing system, and they've got their own system that they've developed, which is really robust, and it helps you a lot for landing helicopters in crappy environments like this. So it'll tell you laterally and vertically, or laterally and horizontally, how you're offset from the laser beacon, and when you're basically right over it, you just go down and you'll connect to the connections. Alright, so as long as we go this heading. I do have a TACAN system on my ships. I don't know if I put it on LSD-46 yet, but this helicopter doesn't incorporate that, so it wouldn't work anyways. It's pretty big, and it's somebody else's creation. I think it's called McLaren 2009 or something like that made it. They made a lot of stuff in regards to IFF and like secure comms and things like that, but I was only interested in the TACAN stuff because that's what Navy ships have, and that's like the homing beacon that helicopters would use to get home. Alright, so that's the exterior shots with the lights, pretty flashing lights. It looks really cool at nighttime, however. I know it's not fun to view things at nighttime videos because everything's just so dark, even if it looks bright on my screen, and when I do post-processing in the video to kind of make it brighter. Somehow, it just always stays dark on the TV and on the phone, so we're just going to avoid it. This helicopter is like a true dual-engine helicopter, so it can fly with one... I think I see LSD-46 over there, just breaking out of the fog. It can fly with one engine. It's got, I think, 1,400 liters or something around there for the fuel, maybe 1,700 liters. What do we got? 1,700 liters. So it can fly pretty good range at a good clip. I think it holds 12 people in the back. I just play single players, but I know people that fly multiplayer probably have fun with this helicopter. I really enjoy flying it. The other night I was just going along the trees and stuff as I was testing it out. They let me take a look at it to give my thoughts, and Soup actually did change some things. I like to do HVVSS stuff, and so the pilot being on the left side here, having a hoist on the left side makes more sense than originally it was on the right side. So they changed that. So basically, because if you're going up against a ship to maybe hoist from, it's easier if it's on the pilot side, because the pilot can just set it up so that they can see the ship easily and then make their maneuvers relative to that viewing position. If the hoist is on the other side, then they kind of got to do the mental picture in their head, like, well, I need to move over a little bit more because the way that I'm saying this is not quite where the hoist is going to line up. Alright, it is pretty sporty out there. You see LSD-46 is now, oh man, going up and down in the waves. Yeah, look at that. So let me grab a picture, because gonna need some for YouTube, I guess. I really like the camera controls in this game. It's pretty simple, easy, intuitive to use. The only thing I don't like is when you bring it back, it tends to put your viewing point as that in the game world once you unpause everything. And so all of a sudden, if you're cocked the camera to the left 90 degrees, when you come back, that's going to be your viewpoint. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to get one more picture. There we go. That's a good one. I try to do, just a side thing, if you ever wondered what YouTube stuff is like, they allow you to do like three test thumbnails, and basically they'll run it for like, I don't know, 2 weeks or something like that. And when they'll give you a test report basically showing you how many people click through based on what thumbnail or have the average watch duration. So you kind of see a percentage of which thumbnail generally is better. And a lot of times they're kind of even, there's about 33% across the board. Sometimes they're dramatic, and sometimes they're people like thumbnails that maybe I didn't like at all, but I just put it out there, and I'll have like 40 or 50% of the share. So yeah. Alright, we're going to approach this. This is pretty crazy. There is a little lag in the collective here, so it is a little tricky, but if you use the system here, we'll have to adjust our camera. There we go. And you'll see it come to life. Basically, there'll be a red ball. Oh, jeez. Damn, that ship is moving so much. There you go. You see that red ball? That is the beacon that it's detecting because of the way the ship's angle is just pitching so largely. This might be too much. Alright, let's see if I put this into the hover mode. So let's, I think it was... What was this one? Automatic recovery. There we go. Oh, we've gone over the ship now. we are at risk of getting smashed by it. There it is. I think we just touched the water. Alright, I'm gonna try and just make my approach just staring at the top of the mast, and we'll... I mean, everything's porpoising so much that it's quite complicated. Even the helicopter, you can see here my collective inputs versus what the engine's trying to do. It's a little mismatched, so it makes us throttle up and down. Go. Let's close a little bit. Maybe we'll try this from the exterior view. And I'm playing this on a giant panel, and this is like making me a little seasick. Oh crap, there we go. Oh crap. Yikes. Man. Oh, are we gonna get it? Yeah, we got it. Okay, yeah, so that's the system there. Now if we look here, you'll see this mag thing is on, so that is just telling you that your parking brake stuff is set. This is the hover mode. Finally figured out what key map I had it to. Now I have it, the parking brake, you can release that there. Then you can assign it to, I think, button 3. Or not, no, button 3 is the hover toggle. Yeah, 6 is the one for the RAS. So, the reason you might want to turn that off is obviously not right now because the sea conditions are just insane. But, let's go to camera mode actually. You might want to turn that off when we want to detach and take off, right? You're going to need to do that. So, I like to have that mapped to my HOTAS as a button because I'll have my hands on the collective and the joystick, so it's nice to just map that to a button. So once I've got the collective in, I can just push the button, we're going to automatically take off. Now this ship is going pretty crazy. The power connection goes, I think it's direct, those small connectors are directly linked to the battery, so you can fully, let's go inside the helicopter. You can actually like shut everything down with the circuit breaker and stuff, and let's actually kill this stuff. Oh, sorry, didn't want that on. Turn that off. Turn that off. Yeah, you can kill this breaker, and we're still connected, and that's a good safety. Because if we weren't, and we killed the power to the small connectors, then this thing would go sliding into the ocean. The artwork on this thing is really cool. So this is kind of like, you know, if you look at Navy helicopters, they have a CAG bird usually. The balls, the 00 bird will typically have some artwork on it and be painted up really nice. So this is really cool. In real life, the only helo dead I remember was HSL-49, which was the Scorpions, and they had I think for their CAG bird or their 00 bird, it was really bright red tail. It was really neat. And this is a SH-60 Bravo back then. I think now they've converted to, well, I think everybody's converted to the MH-60 series long ago, actually, maybe years ago. Yeah, this is pretty good. So up here is the power connector. It's important because on my ships I'll leave power connectors around just in case you do design a helicopter that doesn't have the small connectors linked directly to the battery. You'll want to make sure that it's not that it's always fully charged, basically, so that the small connectors don't die and then this thing goes out into the ocean. We'll let this spin down, and then we can actually fold it up and put it inside the ship. I could just show you guys how this system works on this ship. Another thing, he has the fuel hose here, so we can see the fuel flow, and then we got the diesel fuel level. So this goes to tank number 4, which is the primary feed tank, I think, for the single engine that we have on LSD-46. So it's a massive tank. These helicopters, like we said, this only has like 1,700 liters, so not a big deal. And that is one of 4 major fuel tanks, so we can actually design a system to pump fuel directly around and kind of in a big loop. So we can take fuel from whatever tank and put it to another different tank. So it's really flexible. Okay, I think that's spun down enough. We can jump on the antenna and then get up. Oh, oh my god. It was not spun down enough. That was awesome. Oh, that was brilliant. Okay, now we'll hit the home button and we'll just fly over here. I have to be very careful that we don't do that again. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh man. I think, what did I do last time? I've gotten those things folded up, and I think I jumped on this, but I had to jump on something else. Oh, never mind. Okay, I don't need to crouch. I get. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Sweet. So I really kind of wish this folded that way, because a lot of U.S. helicopter blades will just, for the Navy helicopters, fold the stern, and it would perfectly fit within the body, because right now you see it overlaps just a tiny bit, and when we get this helicopter in there, Soup has made it so that this perfectly fits inside. This will go right up to the bulkhead. Man, look at the seas here. This is insane. Alright, so we're going to need to do one thing here. We're going to close the door. Hit that button. Hit that button. If I can, it's just rocking and rolling too much. There we go. Alright. Leave the doors open. I'm trying to think if this has missiles, if it will fit. It might. Maybe they've tested that. This configuration right here will definitely fit. So if you want to put this thing in there, I haven't checked if this fits in FFG-46. That is another one that's got a RAS system and it has a hangar. I don't know if it fits in the hangar, because this hangar is a lot larger than the other one. LSD-40 or FFG-46 only has it could fit a tiny helicopter. This might be a little too tall, I think. But the RAS system should work. I also have FFG-59. That is kind of like almost like an RHIB Flight 1 sort of design, where it's got a flight deck, so it's got the landing system in it, but it just doesn't have a RAS because there's really no hangar. And then I've made LHA-2, which is a gigantic amphib type ship, amphibious assault carrier sort of kind of ship there, and it doesn't have any RAS obviously because it's just got a big landing deck. But they do have the landing spots that will have that system, so this helicopter will integrate with it just perfectly. And that ship is out. This is the only one that's not out yet. I'm still tuning it up and doing all the pipe work and stuff for just last night. I think I spent the whole evening running pipes for the bathrooms and stuff to go down to the tanks, and now I've got to put the pumps in and get them going. And it all started because I was testing that helicopter and I was like, damn, this is a lot of fun on the ship. And then I just started building the fuel system for it on the deck there, and then I just got sucked in again just because of this helicopter. Alright, so we want to make sure the RAS connector is on. If it's off, that's going to go sliding even if the helicopter's got it on. And then flight deck lights, we can turn that on. That I think is broken because it is on right now, but this doesn't have any control. I was supposed to build, I think, a relay to control that. Because you can also turn on from the bridge, which is where this has been turned on at. So I have to get that into the logic there. Yeah, so this is very simple. We RAS forward or we RAS aft. There are indicators that tell you when it's fully aft or fully forward. So that is the full takeoff position that you want to be at. And then if we want to send it forward, we can do that. we'll see how this struggles to move this thing as we let's go downstairs actually. There we jump down. Man, look at this crap. This is insane. In hindsight, I should have made it a little calmer just so I can really show you the landing system, because I think Soup did an amazing job with that. It's simple, and it provides you with the information you need as you're landing, so you can do first-person view landings on the ships, and it's really neat. Alright, I'm getting seasick here. Jeez. Yeah, so it comes fully forward like that, and then we can basically just close the hangar door. And go around the aircraft. We still have room above it, just barely clears the fire main pipe going up top side. Actually, is that going top side? I think so. Yeah, that goes to the fire station. That's where the magazine for the 50 cals up there is at. Yeah, SH-29 by Soup. It's out now. You can get it on the workshop. I'll link that in the description so you can enjoy it. Great helicopter. A lot of fun. I'm sure if you play multiplayer you can enjoy this, because they like to make creations that aren't laggy, unlike my stuff is that it's so complex that there's just so much logic involved, these big ships, and unfortunately it kind of boxes some people out. You can't play this on, generally, unless you have a really souped up laptop, you're going to be able to play with this ship. I build on a gaming laptop, and I get 20 frames per second or something, kind of dated. This is a problem that I have to figure out. Because this helicopter goes right up to the door here, that was the main door to get inside. So I put another door here. There we go. Just a bunch of series of jumping and crouching at the same time. That's how I smashed my head one time on a frigate, but that's a story for a different video. I think it is in a different video. Yeah, so this door is ideally the one that goes into the hangar, but this goes right up against that door. So I put another one here just for this helicopter. I thought it was a great idea because, yeah, there will be other helicopters that will go right to that spot, obviously. So put that door in. And this is the pipework for the bathrooms and stuff that I was working on last night. That'll go down a few decks and go down to the sewage treatment tank, and then the freshwater tank is pumping the cold water up to the sinks in the toilet. I need to run the hot water pipes that will go up to the showers, because there's a couple showers up there. There's a CO stateroom and XO stateroom that have their individual showers. Anyways, this video is not about that. I better stop myself. Okay, I can't get there. We'll come in this way. This is another way to traverse into the hangar. And then let's get some natural lighting in here. Wheel it out. Just enjoy the view once more. Overboard passengers. Oh, that sucks. Oh, crap. I say that and I'm about to get thrown overboard by the wave action. Jeez. Risky business. I love it. A wicked business. Yeah, of course. It's the wicked glasses. If you're ever on the WWX Discord that I frequent a lot, that is where that comes from. We put all our emojis have the wicked Pit Viper glasses on them. And that's also from WWX. Alright, yeah, there we go. That's SH-29 for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you go and download it and play this helicopter. Play with this helicopter is really fun. You can't play with it on this ship just yet. I'm trying my best. There's a lot of work to be done. I like to go nuts with the marine engineering side of ships. But there are other ships that I have, and they've linked it in the description to the SH-29 that basically shows you all the ships that you can use with this. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's got the guns there. It's got the door gunner too on the other side. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, door gunner with the machine guns on the other side, plus the missiles. Like, this thing is pretty sweet for a little compact helicopter that can be on the ships that you guys create. So enjoy this. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.